What's up, everybody? It's Kyle with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. I was possibly going to take today off. I've got a very, very, very important meeting coming up. And I'm being kind of sarcastic there in case you didn't pick up on it. But I've got a big meeting, and it's important not to take ourselves too seriously. But anyway, I got here early, so I might as well leverage my time and record an episode from the truck. That ties into what I want to go over today, how to discover your 5, 6, 7. And I have to give credit to Paul Reddick, who taught me this years ago. Your 5, 6, 7 is the deeper reasons, or the deeper reasons behind what you're trying to do. Most people, for example, with weight loss will say, I want to lose some weight. And they might start a program, they go gung-ho, and 2 weeks later, they're back to square one, or usually worse off because of this pendulum effect. What we try to do at Newell Strength is we take their initial goal and keep asking them questions. You get to the 5th, 6th, and 7th question. What would be great about this? What happens if you don't do this? Really dig. And this is a great exercise to do for yourself because it gives you the deeper reasons. So habits are about attention. And where are you placing your attention? You want that to be on your intentions. Good morning, Kelly. So you got to put your attention on your intentions, and then it's about repetition. So it's air. Put your attention on your intentions, and then repetition with whatever it is you're trying to do. When I went to church yesterday, the pastor was talking about no wiggle room, right? The morals that you live by, and I take that as principles that you live by. The younger generation coming up has a lot of relativity and wiggle room with their morals. If you have values that you live by, there's no wiggle room with them. For me, I'm always trying to put messages out there to inspire other people and inspire myself, because when I share a message, I get inspired. So knowing what has to be done, knowing, for example, like myself, I live by the golden rule. There's no wiggle room with that. There's never a reason for me to treat somebody poorly. Doesn't matter what they do to me. It's not going to add anything to the world if you bring a lower energy level. So having no wiggle room. So think about success. You can do your 5, 6, 7. That's going to lead you to what it is, the reason behind why you're going after what you're going after. But you also need a definition. So the mind thrives on clarity and definitions. With happiness and success, people just go by a default typically. With happiness, most people's default is more money. And money's great. But billionaires commit suicide. So you got to know the deeper reasons behind why you would want something like that. So what is your definition of success? What is your definition of happiness? All this stuff. And once you decide about having success, you owe it to yourself to go for it no matter what. Success is not going to be easy to attain when you're just thinking of the end goal. When you're thinking of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, that's not going to be easy to get there. No way. And you won't get there if you don't know the intentions behind what you're doing. And there's a barrier. You got to show up. The secret to success is do it again tomorrow. Then do it again the next morning. Then do it again the morning after that. It's really consistency. And you see how this all ties together kind of nicely. I told you today I'm usually 4 or 5 weeks out ahead with recording the podcast. So I have wiggle room in case something comes up. But I found a reason to do this today, right? It's success. It's showing up every day. Put out the message every day. Every Monday I try to come out with an episode. I don't try, I do. Every week I send out all the emails, Monday through Friday. Inconsistency will attract success. It's a magnet for success. You don't have to have all the talent in the world. You don't have to be the best looking. You don't have to be the smartest. I've got none of those things. But I'm consistent. When I was an athlete, my whole game plan was kind of be a bulldog and be consistent. Be tougher than the other guy and be consistent. When you're on the court, and Devin said I could get back to playing basketball, so I'm psyched about that. But when I'm on the court, I wasn't going to show anybody else I was tired. I was going to physically handle them as best I could to kind of dominate them. And that tied back to my practices, my consistency. Always getting in the gym my junior and senior year, before or after games, before or after practices. 500 jump shots a day. You can make up for a lot with consistency, but you need to know the deeper reasons behind what you're doing. And then you're going to be able to stay the course. Not meaning that it's going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. But once you decide on your values, there's no wiggle room. Once you decide on success, there's no wiggle room. You have to go forward and try your best to get it. Because success is also, when you look back on your life, going to be found in that journey. It's going to be found within the journey, not actually, because the end of the thing is just kind of to point you in that direction. It might not end up exactly the way you thought. So having a success mindset and deciding to go for it, that's what it's about. It took me a number of years competing in bodybuilding to really grasp that, the concept of it's not about the actual contest. The contest was cool, but it would come and go, right? It was about the journey. All the things I learned about overcoming adversity, really making myself as physically uncomfortable as I possibly could when I get ready for shows, and knowing that I can make it through that, right? So kind of challenging yourself. But success is really about the journey. Now, no wiggle room with your values, your morals, your decision for success. And think of the word decision. Once you decide, it means to sever, right? So it's a Latin word that it's based off, but to sever from the other side, the other option. And so many people waste so much energy on trying to make a decision, even simple decisions. Just make a decision and go with it. If you're going to lead your life, you have to be a great decision maker. Meaning, you're not always going to be right. Listen to your gut, but make decisions. Don't be wishy-washy and just kind of go with the flow. Make decisions, and then you go for it. Again, that's magnetic. When you start making decisions, it attracts things out there that you need along your journey. But if you haven't decided and you're waiting for all the lights to be green, it's not going to happen. So good luck. You're going to be waiting a long time, probably forever. And I'm going to leave with this before I head into the meeting. You have one life that we know of in this body. You might come back as something else or somebody else. I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are. But I know that this particular body, as far as we know, you got one shot, one go-round at this. This is not a rehearsal. So why are you not going for it? Why are you not seeing what you can achieve, setting the bar as high as you possibly can? Before you know it, you're going to be 70, 80, 90, maybe 100 years old, looking back and saying, I wish I had done that. Man, I should have done this. The pain of discipline is much less than the pain of regret. The pain of discipline is much less than the pain of regret. So figure out why you want to do it, what it is you want to do, and commit. Don't have wiggle room. Don't, the mindset of like snowflakiness, right? That's what I'll call it. That doesn't attract success because there's too much wiggle room. There's too much, it's got to be comfortable. Listen, it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. Go for it. Thanks for tuning in. I got to run into this meeting. Find out your 5, 6, 7. No wiggle room. Decide. Cut off yourself from any other option. If you haven't already done so, please leave a review or hit the share button on Facebook. And once I get this up to iTunes, don't forget to subscribe. Leave it a 5-star rating if you like it. Be back next week. Win the week, everybody. Peace.